So I often get the question, why did you switch to Resolve after using Premiere for like 13 years? That's the topic of this video. So, a little background story first. I started messing around with the camera about 14 years ago. I got a small Handycam Sony camera for Christmas from my dad to film my buddies with skateboarding, and that's where it all started. And I remember using Sony Vegas to edit my videos in, and at the time I was addicted to RuneScape as well, so I used Sony Vegas to edit my PK videos in. If you know what PK videos are, definitely check the link in the description because it's hilarious. It's terrible, but yeah, it was what we did, back in the day. So quite soon after, I discovered the Adobe series, and I was so intrigued by using Photoshop and After Effects to create like awesome stuff that I quickly spent hundreds of hours studying the program, learning the software. And along with that came Premiere Pro. Again, I learned as much as I could about that software in a short amount of time, and I spent hundreds of hours listening to Andrew Kramer of Video Copilot.
Hey, what's up guys? Andrew Kramer here, videocopilot.net, and welcome back to another very exciting blog show.
Or Nathaniel Dodson from Tutvid.
Well, hey everybody, welcome into this Adobe Photoshop tutorial brought to you as always by tutvid.com. My name is Nathaniel Dodson.
I don't know if you guys still make videos, so I hope you do, because you are awesome, thank you. So about 10 years fast forwarded, I used, pretty much all the Adobe programs in the series pretty much every day. I used them for video editing, photo editing, even making papers for school in Illustrator and so on. While using Premiere Pro for all my video work, I quickly discovered that after the version CS6, it became bad and it crashed a lot. It was very slow. We're freezing again. You gotta be kidding me. We're freezing again. And we're crashed. This shit, man. And I just couldn't really work with it anymore. But there was no better option for me because at the time I did not own a Mac, so I pretty much had to deal with it. Then Resolve came into the picture when I was about 16 years old because I saw all the pros color their footage in Resolve. And at the time it looked very scary, it looked like a lot to learn because it was a completely different workflow. The node tree and all that stuff is completely different than working with adjustment layers in Premiere. But I went for it anyway, and I, again, learned everything through YouTube, and I learned everything about color grading, about color science, about color in general. And yeah, that's how I got started in Resolve. And it wasn't until August 8th, 2019 that I switched to it completely when they announced Resolve 16. And right now I use DaVinci Resolve full time, and I haven't looked back to Premiere 1 second, and I, don't regret it at all because it was the best decision ever. So, what makes Resolve so special? Well, there's a few things that, Resolve really stands out in comparison to Premiere Pro or even Final Cut X, but the one that I think is the most valuable is its layout, its pages. It starts with the media pool, then it goes into the cut page, then it goes into the edit page, fusion, color grading, Fairlight, and then delivery. And that's just the entire pipeline that you'll use when editing a video. You'll start with your file management and your media browser, and then you go into the cutting, and then every editor does a different thing. I personally don't like the cut page. I do everything in the edit page because I'm so used to it, and that still comes from the days in Premiere Pro, because that's basically the usual timeline based setup. But I think it's so powerful that you can switch between these pages and just advance your steps along the way. And if you're done with your edit, you go over to the color page, you color everything, then you'll go over to the Fairlight page, you do your entire sound design, and you deliver. That's how it works, and that's just very nice to have in that program, because I personally I exported the entire timeline to a ProRes or DNX HD file and then import it back into Resolve and start color grading the footage. And that entire workaround just took me so much time. And of course, I know you can do it in an XML file, but usually there were more people involved. So it was easier to export it as a complete clip. But now, since I use Resolve, I can just click on the tab and start color grading. And it's just so intuitive and so fast, and that's why I like it the best. Now, I hear you think, what about VFX? I know. I personally do use After Effects quite often to do small animations and things that I can render out into a file with a alpha channel, you know, that I can use universally on basically every editing program. But I do use Fusion more often, and as you go along and as you learn more about the node tree setup, like the node workflow inside Fusion, it will become easier. Personally, I only use the dynamic link between Premiere and After Effects for, let's say, 3D tracking or tracking text into a clip in 3D space. That's basically the only thing that I used After Effects for. And quite honestly, in Fusion, it's pretty simple and it's very fast. Now, do you need to switch to Resolve? That's the question, of course. You know, if you are frustrated using Premiere and all the crashes and all the lack of intuitivity. Wow, how do you say this? Intuitivity. Anyway, you know what I mean. If you think Premiere Pro is frustrating you, then yes, try Resolve. It's free. You can start working in Resolve for free, and you can, you know, get yourself familiar with the layout, with the workflow, and then if you like it, you pay, I think, $299 for the full version, and you'll get unlimited upgrades to newer versions for free. I mean, it's insane. If you compare that to Premiere Pro, which, like, its standalone version costs you around $300 on a yearly subscription, and then you have to pay it every year. It's insane. And the best thing is, if you buy a Blackmagic camera, the one that I have, the Pocket 4K or an Ursa or whatever, you'll get 2 licenses for free. What? And the Pocket 4K is only 1,200 euros right now. That's such a crazy deal. So my suggestion to you is to download it, start playing around with it, see if you like it. If it doesn't fit your workflow, then don't switch. It's that simple. But if it does, and if you have the feeling that it will increase your workflow, your creativity even, why not try and use it? That's basically it for this video. Pretty short one, pretty simple one, just some information from my side. Hope you liked it. Hope it was inspiring in some way. If you have any questions, you know, leave them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them, to help you guys out with any doubts or, you know, things that goes on in your life. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I guess we'll meet next week on Sunday, 5, maybe 6, I don't know, depends, you know, whatever. Thanks for watching, bye.